Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich.
Good evening. I'm Peggy Scott LaBorde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hi, Peg.
Hello. And Alice Mason of TheaterCriticism.com. Hello. Welcome back from NYC. Yep. Later on, we will have a performance by Irene Karikadu, as well as a scene from Slidell Theater's Annie. But first up, of course, Poppy.
Last night, for the first time, I attended the Louisiana Hospitality Foundation's annual Gold Medal Chef's Gala. And I gotta tell you what, next year I'll give all the viewers plenty warning when it's time to buy their tickets, because it was one of the most fabulous events I've ever attended, and I want to congratulate my dear friend Lynn Moran, who is the manager at Bayona, for being named the Outstanding Volunteer of the Year. She's really something else. She was a recipient when she went through breast cancer, and she gives back like nobody else. And honored along with Lynn, Ella Brennan, T. Martin received an award on her behalf, Leah Chase, Tori McPhail. It was really swell. And the food, well, you could only imagine. It was a great event. Next year, we'll give everybody fair warning, and congratulations to Lynn. Then, brand new restaurants. Got two new restaurants I want to talk about. Gris-Gris, the chef is Eric Cook, which people know Eric. He's one of the city's most beloved chefs, starting with his time at Commander's. He's been the executive chef at the Bourbon House in the American sector and Tommy's Cuisine. He's on Magazine Street, where Root used to be. And it's really a neighborhood sort of restaurant that he's envisioned. There's been a big buzz about his delicious gumbo, because he's from here. His coubillon is fabulous. He's serving his mom's chicken stew and dumplings. Very unusual chicken gizzard griots. Yum. Oyster BLT, and oh my goodness, the pork belly with compressed watermelon and a jalapeno glaze was out of this world. There's balcony dining. He's open every day, 7 days a week, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. Then I took a little trip this week to Couvent. Couvent just opened up this week inside the Eliza Jane Hotel, which is now being operated by Hyatt. And that's right across from the old stock exchange, you know, right there. Chef Brad McDonald. Oh boy, are we lucky to have Brad McDonald in New Orleans. He started off his career at City Grocery with John Currance in Oxford, Mississippi, but he really took off. He cooked at Per Se, he cooked at Noma. He most recently owned his own restaurant in London, and I'll tell you what, they have created a real Parisian brasserie. It is exactly like being in Paris. I know, everybody knows that's one of the things I love the most, and a pissaldier. It's a anchovy toast. Never tasted anything like it on this side of the Atlantic Ocean, or have I tasted a grand aioli quite like he makes. That's house-made French ham, royal red shrimp. Oh my goodness, it's fabulous. And of course, everything you'd expect. Pâté, foie gras, steak tartare, mussels, steak frite, all of that. But also, the most perfect steak grenoblaise and a redfish niçoise. I've never had redfish like that before. It was fabulous. And then it's not often the chef sends potatoes to the table, but this chef rightly does so, because there was dauphin, gratin dauphinoise, but in the style of the late Joël Robuchon, a potato puree with a bone marrow bordelaise. My only complaint was they didn't bring me a spoon, and I just wanted to eat the whole. Then, the most recent of the Chef's Move scholarship recipients, Cassidy Lewis, 19 years old, went straight to New York to study right out of high school here. She's the pastry chef. Her Paris-Bresse, Oh, just like in France, one of my favorite desserts. Her profiteroles, pistachio creme brulee with brown butter madeleines, a French wine list as you'd expect, and Scott Bayard of San Francisco's Trick Dog created the cocktails. And right now it's lunch. It's dinner with breakfast and lunch coming soon. And then last of all, the tickets are selling out. So go online now and get your ticket to the American Cuisine and Hospitality Symposium celebrating Commander's Palace 125th. This is continuing a conversation Ella started back in the 80s. It's an all-day event. You're never going to have all these people together again. Larry Forgione, Ruth Reichel, Danny Meyer, Barbara Lynch, Jonathan Waxman, over 30 speakers. If you are a foodie, this is a no-miss event, and you know the food and drink that day is going to be good.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm sure nobody will starve.
Oh,
Right?
at the Orpheum. It's all at the Orpheum.
Isn't that a great idea?
It's going to be fabulous.
All right, Poppy, thank you so much.
Thanks, Peg.
Opera singer Irene Kyriakou came in earlier today to talk to us about an upcoming event and to give us a special performance. So great to once again have Irene with us, and it's for a very good cause. Amici, an organization that organizes the Metropolitan Regional Finals, but also helps raise money for young students, budding stars who maybe can't afford the airfare to New York for the finals or a nice suit or a dress. So Irene, August the 26th, you'll be performing at the special gala. You can get tickets. There's also a special dinner. Just go to the Amici website. Tell us what you'll be performing.
Oh, we will be, I will be performing with Andre Courville, a wonderful bass baritone from here, who is going to be doing a series of French songs and German songs, and I'll be joining him with a couple of arias. I'm going to be singing Tatiana's aria from Eugene Onegin, Tchaikovsky. I'm going to do Adriano Lecouvreur. It's a bit of, Italian. And then we'll be singing a duet. I think that we're singing La Girolamo La Mano. It's good to have a little bit of Mozart.
That's always great to have Mozart. Well, I know that you're originally, of course, from Greece, but you make New Orleans your home.
But I
because
consider
you're
myself
married to
New
somebody,
Orleanian.
you have a lot in common, don't you?
Yes. Brian Email, my husband,
Of course,
is from
wonderful
here.
opera singer himself.
And I'm very happy to perform on this concert because I know Amici supported Brian so much in the beginning of his career. They are the people that believed in him before the rest of the world did. So, and actually the first time that I sang with Brian in New Orleans, our very first concert was for Amici, was to support their cause. So I'm happy, and we are both happy to keep helping them, supporting them as they have supported us.
Wonderful.
And,
now, where have you been lately performing?
I was lucky to go to the Canary Islands and in Las Palmas Opera and perform there Micaela in Carmen. And I also did a concert with another bass baritone in Gibraltar, of all places. So it's a beautiful and unique place. And now I'm here back in New Orleans, being very busy with our Opus Opera, our
You have your own
nonprofit.
fundraiser throughout the year. I know you have something coming up later in November.
Here.
At WYS. Here.
WYS.
So we'll be talking to you much
November
more
18th.
about that.
Absolutely, we're so happy.
Yes. We are too. And so tell us what you're performing for us tonight.
We'll be performing with Drew Montague.
Yes, thank you, Drew Montague.
Yes. O mio babbino caro from Gianni Schicchi, Puccini's Gianni Schicchi, a very beloved aria that I'm sure you will enjoy.
Well, let me get out the way and let you proceed. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Andare in
all you can say. A reminder that summer opera interlude with Irene and Andre Courville will be Sunday, August 26th at Temple Sinai and St. Charles Avenue. There's the pre-day admission, just $20 before that, and admission at the door is $25. And of course, there's that fabulous dinner too. So go to their website for all that information. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Perry Potter, as opposed to Harry Potter, gave us the names. I love it. Hello, Perry. Of two North Shore towns that the Tchefuncte River passes through. The answers, Covington and Madisonville. Now tonight's question. Two popular brunch items, Eggs Benedict and Egg Sardou, each have eggs and hollandaise sauce. What are the main different ingredients in each? That's a good one, huh, Poppy? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prize is a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine. A t-shirt with the message, Drew can do. We know that, Drew. From our friends at Wearable Vegetables, and a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, Butterfly Garden, and Insectarium. You can go to wyes.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including auditions for the Delta Festival Ballet's rendition of the Nutcracker, and that's on September the 9th in Metairie. You can also link to 8th and 9th, actually. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to see our program. You know, Slidell Little Theater's production of Annie opens next week, and here are the two young ladies who will be playing Annie to sing and give us some backstage scoop. Next week, Slidell Little Theater, Annie! And I've got the two Annies here, Piper Hall and Elizabeth Burris. And my big question is, do you all help each other learn the lines? And
well, we've gotten to be friends over the course of
the last few weeks,
the rehearsal, and yeah, we're really good friends, and we help each other a lot. So.
And you'll be alternating the role, I understand. Okay.
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
tell me about what happened when you heard that you got the role.
Well, it was kind of, we knew it was between either one of us, and we were completely worried. We were like, we don't want either one of us to be let down. So when we heard the news that we were both getting the role, I mean, it was just a huge burden off our chest that neither one of us got let down and that we actually got to work together.
Gee. Do you have a favorite song in the show? You're singing constantly. Tomorrow,
for
well,
sure.
That's good news because we're going to be doing that shortly.
Yes.
Okay. How about you?
Well, I do love being with the other orphans, and so I would say my favorite song would be Hard Knock Life.
I really like that song too, I've got to say. There's a lot of pep on it, but always tomorrow, that's something that just rings and makes you think so much about so many things. It's such a sweet, sweet song, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. Now, what is it like to work with a little dog?
It's like the best thing in the world. Like, is that even a question?
I know. We both love her. She's super adorable, and she's very well trained. So you should come see that.
And I understand that by day her name is Jenny,
Yes.
Okay, on the stage it's Sandy, of course, but that she herself, which is so appropriate, is a rescue dog. That's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing, yes. So how long is this process? Is this a few months of effort? And I know you're trying to juggle school too.
Yes. Well, we started rehearsals in July, and our shows are next week, August 24th through September 9th. And yeah, it's going to be super great.
Absolutely. And do you have any favorite moments in the show?
Well, like I said before, I like being with the orphans because I'm a person who loves to be with little children, and I love hanging out with them, and of course I love being with the dog. And I just love it overall, being with all the cast and having a few laughs here and there and just having a lot of fun.
You too, I'm sure.
Yes.
Now, where do you all go to school?
I go to Christ Episcopal School, and I'm going to be in 9th grade.
And I go to Boyette Junior High in Slidell, and I'm in 8th grade.
Has it been just so much fun to tell your friends, hey, I'm in this play?
Well, I actually do have a friend in my class who is one of the orphans, and then I met so many new friends who are also in Annie from doing a summer program at Slidell Little Theater.
Okay, so there's already some experience here too, of course. Well, now though, I will get out of the way so they can perform the signature tune from Annie tomorrow. Thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you.
Good, Sandy.
Good boy. Good old Sandy. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that Tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none.
When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely,
I just stick up my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day away. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely,
I just stick up my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow,
you're always a day away.
And we should say that was Piper on the left and Elizabeth on the right. They are darling. And Sandy, thanks to Cranwell K9 Academy, did such a wonderful job with good old Sandy. And Carol Klein was our accompanist. Slidell Little Theater's production of Annie, August 24th through September the 9th. The theater is on Nellie Drive in Slidell, and you can purchase your tickets through the theater's website. Now it's time, though, for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we're showcasing some of the winning entries of City Park's recent photo contest. First, the Soul of the City. That's what it was called, of City Park, that is. First place for Flowers. Look at that. Two of a Kind by Chad Pillardi, okay. And then first place for Recreation Sports was Golden Hour. It looks like a painting. Golden Hour Gondola Ride by John Velasco. Then the grand prize, Best in Show winner, was David Muller with Sunset Gondola Cruise. You can view all of the winning photos on the Oscar J. Thomas Visitor Center right there near Storyland on Victory Avenue. The City Park Administration Building, it's also called, on Palm Drive, or by visiting the City Park's websites. They've got them at the City Park Administration Building and at Oscar Thomas. Now, Ellen, he's back.
I was off last week with Stars in My Eyes and Stars to Be Seen. Broadway's box office, by the way, is up quite a bit this year, mostly due to, of all people, Bruce Springsteen. His average ticket price is double that of Hamilton at more than $500 each.
What?
Ticket prices are up 16% due to that, but the number of attendees are only 3%, so that means higher priced tickets in general. The first place, though, that I headed was over to the Ethel Barrymore Theater to see The Band's Visit. This is the big winner of all the musicals this year, the small musical that stars, of course, Sasson, Gabay, and Katrina Lenk. David Yazbek was, of course, the composer, and Idmar Moses, the book writer. David Comer, Lenk, Yazbek, Moses, and, of course, Tony Shalhoub all won just some of the winners for The Band's Visit, 10 Tony Awards in total. This piece, of course, is based on an Israeli film where an Egyptian military band mistakenly ends up in a Negev desert town, and as they say in the play, nothing happens. Well, of course, you know, a lot happens. And part of the magic is Sasson Gabay, the actor from Israel, who reprises his role from the screen to the stage now. And there he was very happy to see me, and he said he hoped he got a good review, and he did. Next up was the Yiddish production of Fiddler on the Roof. This is directed by Joel Gray. Of course, we all know him. This is the first time this translation has been seen in the U.S., and only the second time this production has ever been put on stage. It was actually done in 1965 at the same time as Zero Mostel was doing the role on stage on Broadway. One of the stars who gets married every performance is Rachel Zaklav. There she is, the former Christine Daae, who started the Majestic Theater in Phantom of the Opera a few years back. Again, this particular performance is incredible to see. They have super titles, but it's incredible to hear and see it performed in the mother tongue, if you will. These are what the characters would have been speaking had we been able to transport ourselves back in time. Imagine a musical, though, set in the Renaissance with gender misdirection and cross-dressing, sort of similar to what happens on A Funny Thing Happened in the Way of the Forum. And it's about love and its many permutations. This is the music of the Go-Go's and Belinda Carlisle, head over heels. It's just one of the newest hits on Broadway, and I recommend it very highly. Tony Award winner Cady Huffman accompanied me. She's currently playing at the Ambassador Theater as Mama Matron, if you remember, in Chicago. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. She had a night off, and so we took in the town. And again, this is doing fantastic business at the Hudson. I recommend you get your tickets now because it's going to be very difficult later in the season. Now, despite the win for Best Choreography on Broadway this season, another show, Carousel, has announced its closing on September the 20th, which is really a shame. Justin Peck won the award for the Tony of Best Choreography, as did Lindsay Mendez as Carrie Pipperidge, but audiences are really more interested, it appears, in SpongeBob and Mean Girls, Inga and Elsa and all of those, other than, of course, seeing what is really a shame because it is a classic musical and done with a great cast. Joshua Henry, who has been nominated 3 times for Tony Awards, and of course a lot of people remembered him from being the original Aaron Burr in Chicago's Hamilton. He stars as Billy Bigelow, Jessie Muller as Julie Jordan, and opera diva Renee Fleming was so great. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world. She came out to greet me as well. It was one of the highlights of my trip.
I bet.
Yes. Now, I would be negligent if I didn't say how impressive Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is in 2 parts. It's just, you know, really an all-day affair, special effects that thrill, and it really will make J.K. Rowling fans and those who are unfamiliar with the books love it. And then, of course, the last thing I saw the last night in the Big Apple was right after Harry Potter. I caught the last part of Karen Akers' show at the recently opened Beach Cafe. She performed with Alex Ryback, and who shows up at the show but 10-time Tony Award winner, the, of course, famous Tommy Tune. He congratulated her. He's got the most Tony Awards of any performer in history. And Broadway is doing quite well, though. 2-for-1 ticket sales right now are on sale. If you go check out online, you'll find that those of you going in September will get some deals, so check that out. Now, before I took off for the Great White Way, I checked into the rooming house at 722 Toulouse Street. That was, of course, the setting for the Tennessee Williams Theater Company's performances of the playwright's Vieux Carré. It's directed by Bo Bratcher. The work's being performed at the Marigny Theater Opera House, if you will, and it stars a cast that includes Jake Bartouche as the writer, and Tracy Collins as Mrs. Wire, Kyle Dagerpon as Nightingale, and Megan Whittle as Jane. Well, smaller roles by Lakeisha Glover, Adele Gautier, and Janet Shea are also noteworthy. This is a very largely an autobiographical work, and essentially started in 1938 when Tennessee Williams arrived in New Orleans, but it took him almost 4 decades to actually realize it on screen. I would tell you, it's an important work to us here in New Orleans because of all of that. We get to peek through the curtains of time, if you will, to see what New Orleans was like in the late 30s. Now, the characters are almost all flawed. They scheme, they lie, they try to take advantage of each other, and unfortunately, into this mix comes the writer, who's virtually an innocent, and he basically is, as I said, the representation of Williams. Kyle Dagerpon, very impressive as Nightingale, an unusual artist who's dying of tuberculosis and denying his condition. And Megan Whittle is also very good as Jane, a woman who really falls from high society. Comic relief is by Tracy Collins, very good as Mrs. Wire. She ratchets his things up. And despite her conniving, we sort of fall in love with her. We can't help but love that character. Vieux Carré will end its run this weekend. And finally, Tuesday night was the finals for the Stage Door Idol competition. The finalists, there were 6 of them: Aaron Richard, Aaron Chadwick, Diana Duffy, Wilhelm, Mark Anthony Thomas, Quetta Cavalier, and Charis Gullage. And she was Sarah Brown. She won it all. The Stage Door Idol, Charis Gullage. And again, congratulations to her.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan. Poppy, our picks.
Next week, next Wednesday, Eat Fit Dine Out to help support that great program. And then next Saturday, the 25th, it's Happy Birthday Huey Long at Kingfish with Huey Long look-alike contests and Spud McConnell, and it's always fun.
Okay, great. Alan.
Well, since I'm going to be off for a bit, I wanted to remind everybody that Ricky Graham's Growing Up New Orleans is going to be at the Rivertown Theaters for only 1 weekend. It's going to be actually 4 shows, as I understand it, the 24th, 25th, and the 26th. They'll have 2 matinees.
Okay, great. And my picks, you can catch Julia Reed discussing and signing her brand new book, South Toward Home. That's next Tuesday at the Garden District Bookshop on Britannia. Visit the bookshop's website for more info. This year's Architecture and Design Film Festival is at the Broad Theater on North Broad in Mid-City. It runs from August 23rd to 26th. Check out their website as well to see the full film schedule. Don't miss the 13th annual Katrina Artistically Revisited event at the Cinnabar Canal Place on Canal Street, of course. That's in Canal Place. And that'll be Tuesday, August the 28th. The program includes performances by Armand St. Martin and talks by many different historians and filmmakers commemorating, of course, Katrina. And so exciting, musician Danny O'Flaherty will be holding a meet and greet event for his newest CD called Changes. That will be September 7th at the Esplanade Studios on Esplanade Avenue. Visit Danny's website for more information. And poor Danny was in 2 car accidents. So this is just amazing. This is his first CD in 3 years. So we wish him very well, and we wish you all very well. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.